Fred. On by Cavani to Greenwood, then spread out wide, looking for the run of Martial. Blocked away from him. First time cross in from Shaw, headed away by Keane. Gordon will try and tidy it up. The best header back towards his captain. Managed to clear it away on this occasion. Well, it's out of play for another Manchester United throw in. Really good defending from Ben Godfrey there. For a second, like he might not be able to get there before Martial, but he timed his run and his challenge to perfection. Has eventually led to a Manchester United throw in. It's gone back all the way to Lindelof, so Everton, everybody behind the ball, all within 40 yards of their own goal at the moment. They look to try and see out the rest of this half. Fernandes into Cavani. It's all too congested though around the edge of the Everton box. We see one or two discussions between Manchester United players at the moment about potential runs, potential angles that might be there. Maybe they expect others to be in. So a bit of work to be done on the playbook perhaps at half time for Manchester United to find a way through this Everton defence. Ram plays the ball right hand side to Wan-Bissaka, drops deep to find space away from Gordon. It's an inside to McTominay, who's closed down quickly.
And it's the first time in a while that there's just been a little bit of space in that area just before the penalty box, and I think that's what's going to frustrate Rafa Benitez, that his side just allowed this move for Manchester United to come to fruition a little bit too easily. Take nothing away though from United, because this is good play here from Mason Greenwood. The turn there and the touch and turn from Bruno Fernandes really is a 10 out of 10, and then he lays it off to Martial, who has a lot of space coming in on his right foot from the left hand side, curling it past Pickford with pace. I think it takes a nick off Yerry Mina as he's trying to slide in to stop that ball going into the goal. That may have just thrown Pickford, who could have actually had his hands to that had it not been for the deflection. But I think for me, although it's a good, powerful finish from Martial, it's the way that Bruno Fernandes controls the ball and lays it off to his teammate. That's what makes the goal for me.
Yeah, absolutely delicious turn, wasn't it? Beautiful first touch. It looked like the pass was under hit actually to Martial. I thought he's not got enough on this to be able to get in there, but he just had the pace coming in as the Everton defenders were having to turn and start their run. As you say, there is a deflection. Still think he might have been bending into the far corner anyway, away from Pickford. It would have been a difficult save for the Everton keeper, but we'll never know. Either way, Manchester United have the lead. 43 minutes on the clock. Martial on the score sheet. He goes for it now, but he's challenged quickly by Godfrey on that far side. It will be a Manchester United throw, but from an Everton point of view, as he said, looked like they stabilised, looked like they were going to get through to half-time, and suddenly, bang, they're a goal down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a terrible time to concede when you've just had probably the better share of attacking possession in the last 15 minutes. So certainly Rafa Benitez will be very frustrated about that. But it's always a chance at Old Trafford that you could concede if you give that much space to Bruno Fernandes at the edge of the box and don't mark Martial at all. There's always a chance that could happen. But Everton aren't the best chasers in the league. Since September last year, they've had 20 games where they've gone behind, winning just 3 of them, drawing 4 and losing 13. And they're at Old Trafford as well, where United don't let many leads slip.
Certainly will be a difficult second half for this Everton side. Kind of feel there was a big cheer and a sigh of relief to some extent around Old Trafford with that goal going in. Looked like it would be a 45 minutes. There was another blank for this United side, despite a good start to the game. Everton certainly got a good foothold in as the half wore on. Now Manchester United are the ones trying to play out to half-time, just settle things down. We've got a break here as the ball spins fortuitously into the path of McTominay, but he's quickly closed down by Yerry Mina. To go back to his keeper Pickford though before he can get forward again. Clearance forward only finds Fred. Gets there a second time, does the Manchester United midfielder, and finds Shaw. That will come forward left-hand side, pushes it out wide for Martial, into the feet of Cavani, little 1-2, Martial looking for space for a shot, gets a strike in, didn't really connect with it fully, and it lobs up fairly harmlessly into Pickford's hands.
Yeah, it was sort of curling, but down the middle of the goal really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. into injury time. 2 minutes of it to be played in this first half. Long ball down the left-hand side now. In theory, looking curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 2 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 2 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 2 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 2 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 3 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one. Into injury time. 3 minutes of it. I suppose that, and then the goal, I suppose, down the left add on now. In theory, curling, but down the middle of the goal, really, wasn't it? Straight into the arms of Pickford, so no issues with that one.
The ball across the meter. It does so. The half-time whistle does blow. Drake 1, Everton 0.
Half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side. The ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side. The ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side. The ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side. The ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side. The ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United to get the ball away to Martial on the left foot. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area, fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time.
Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession themselves. A really good chance for Townsend getting blocked at the near post, but it's United who lead by a goal to nil. Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to nil. The goal scored just before half-time. Move started on the right-hand side, the ball finding Bruno Fernandes with an excellent touch and then turned to get the ball away to Martial on the left-hand side. He came into the penalty area and fired it past Pickford. Slight deflection, but the ball looked to be going on target in any case. And that was after a good start for United, forcing a couple of early saves from Pickford. Everton then responded with a bit of possession.
Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading against Everton by a goal to nil. The goal from Martial just before half-time. And we are underway now in the second half. Everton would have been a bit frustrated conceding late on in that first half, considering they seemed to weather the early storm from Manchester United. They had a couple of decent chances themselves. Martial's strike just a couple of minutes before half-time, giving United the lead. And we need to see a response here from Everton. Be looking to try and get back into the game, but it's United in possession now down the left-hand side. Luke Shaw waiting to take the throws. Myself, Paul Shabakovic and Steve Pearson taking you through the action. And Steve, Everton, they certainly can't say that they would have felt unlucky to have conceded, because United had a lot of possession, but the way the goal was scored just before half-time just threw them out a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. As you said about reaction there, it's got to be there quickly, hasn't it, from this Everton side? They can't let United take control of the game. You know, there are options, as we've already said, myriad of them off the bench, should United need anything, if Everton do get back in there as well. So you kind of get the feeling this was one of those games that Everton needed to get in front in and then try and put United under pressure that way. They haven't done so. First half I thought was pretty even overall. I think in terms of chances created, opportunities that were around, you know, United's were probably slightly better because a couple of the Everton ones were blocked before they got towards goal. But I thought Everton accounted well after the first 10 minutes when they'd weathered that initial storm from Manchester United. But now it's United who can control the game, can't they, and play it at whatever tempo they want to do. Everton have got to disrupt.
That's what Everton do have to try and do early on in this second half, but already United trying to get a move started down the left here. A lot of space for Luke Shaw, now switches the ball over towards Mason Greenwood, tried to take it down for Bruno Fernandes, but that's good play from Anthony Gordon to win the ball back for Everton, but he's then dispossessed by Fred, and he plays it square to Greenwood. United straight away back on the attack. Greenwood over towards the right-hand side for Wan-Bissaka. Inside now to Cavani, back to Greenwood. And now McTominay over to Fred. He's got options here down the left-hand side. One of them is Anthony Martial, the goal scorer. Closed down here by Godfrey. Plays it inside now to Bruno Fernandes. Back to Martial. Good play there from Godfrey. Gets a foot in there. I think it's out for a corner. Just remind you of the 2-11s for United. It's David De Gea in goal with the back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Raphael Varane, Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw. The two holding midfielders are Scott McTominay and Fred. The three ahead of them are Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial, with Edinson Cavani as the front man. I'll just remind you of the Everton team in a moment. We'll see this corner kick first. be taken by Luke Shaw. The ball is clearly not in the quadrant, but it's one of those things that referees tend to allow. The outswinger there from Shaw, just away from McTominay, picked up on the right-hand side of the penalty area by Mason Greenwood. His strike is on target, but it's down the middle. Comfortable save for Pickford, who is in goal for Everton. Back four of Ben Godfrey, Yerry Mina, Michael Keane and Lucas Digne. Four in midfield, Andros Townsend, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Allen and Anthony Gordon, with Damari Gray and Solomon Rondon as the two up front. And United now in possession here with Bruno Fernandes square to Scott McTominay. And you can see straight away, Steve, we've only had 3.5 minutes, but already that seems to be a format that Everton has sat deeper and United are just more comfortable on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of space for United until they get down towards the penalty area. A little bit like a spell that we had around about 20-30 minutes in the first half when Everton did a similar kind of thing where they sat in and said, OK, United, you can have some possession. We'll try and get you on the break using the pace of Rondon and Gray. At the moment, though, it's Manchester United, for me, looking far too comfortable. They've got Solskjaer's come down to the side to discuss a couple of things through with his coaching staff. So there's something that he's not quite content with at the moment in this second half, but it certainly can't be the possession that United have had, because it's been very comfortable in the first 5 minutes.
It has, even more so now with Abdoulaye Doucouré giving the ball away to McTominay. Fred then holds the ball up and looks for a pass down the right-hand channel, and Greenwood got too far ahead and Wan-Bissaka was too far behind. So United now lose the ball, but the pass down the left here for Everton is vaguely in the direction of Rondon. It certainly couldn't be said it was a pass straight to him. De Gea now with the ball for United, and they're looking to play out from the back. 15 minutes gone, independent off-tube studio commentary. Manchester United leading against Everton by a 1-0. And in the Championship game, it was 1-0 just before half-time, but it is now 1-1, with Coventry getting an equaliser through Gyökeres at the start of the second half. 1-1 there between Coventry and Fulham. United now in possession here with Raphael Varane. He goes to square to Fred, up towards Bruno Fernandes, who spots the run of Cavani down the left-hand side. He's well tracked by Godfrey, back heels it to Anthony Martial. He goes back to Bruno Fernandes. Lovely 1-2 there between the two of them. Martial trying to find Bruno Fernandes again. Doucouré gets in the way, as a good midfielder should, and that is cleared towards the halfway line. Solomon Rondon unable to get the ball towards Andros Townsend. Manchester United back in possession now with Luke Shaw. He goes back towards Martial. And United just picking up the pace, a little bit more intent with what they're doing now. Everton just trying to chase the ball down, as Luke Shaw, being closed down by Andros Townsend, goes back towards Varane. Varane now to McTominay. Inside towards Mason Greenwood. Over now on the right-hand side, Wan-Bissaka running straight into Lucas Digne, and it is a touch of Wan-Bissaka last, so it is a throw to Everton down the left-hand side. We have a second goal in the second half of the Championship game. Coventry goal down at half-time, and now 2-1 up, with Gyökeres getting the first goal. We'll confirm the second goal scorer in just a second. It's been a good start for newly promoted Coventry, as they look to rebuild after years in the doldrums. But Manchester United here still looking very comfortable on the ball. 6 minutes gone in the second half, and all the possession has pretty much been in the Everton half. Most of it in midfield, really, rather than inside the penalty area, though.
Yeah, in one way it's similar to the first half, isn't it, where Manchester United dominated possession, but there was a lot more pace about the attacks from United in that first 10 minutes of the first period. They really turned Everton around and started to create some half opportunities. This time it's just possession with no end product. There's nothing around the penalty area. It's all very pretty. Everton perfectly happy to sit back, so it's almost like Everton have come out and said, OK, we'll weather your storm again, and we'll try and play it the same way, where we'll take the heat out of you for the first 10 minutes, then we'll come into the game. At least I hope that's the case for Everton fans, because otherwise you're on the back foot and no way of coming forward as it stands at the moment. Absolutely.
It was Matthew Godden from the penalty spot that had put Coventry City 2-1 up against Fulham. But Steve's absolutely right. The problem for Everton is that they are trying to soak up the United pressure, which they were doing in the first half, and they could hit on the counter to try and take the lead. Now, of course, they're trailing by a 1-0, which just makes United that little bit more confident on the ball. There's not as much urgency from United, so there's less chance of them playing a risky ball and perhaps losing it as well. But we can see there, Damari Gray a bit frustrated he couldn't keep the ball in play. Out for a United throw. Luke Shaw going back to Raphael Varane, who is actually a huge signing for United when you look at his background, of course, his years at Real Madrid and in the French national team. But with everything, with obviously the arrival of Ronaldo, it's sort of been a bit of a quiet arrival for Varane, really.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because it was an excellent piece of business, you felt, from United. They've got some good younger defenders around, but we look at the Maguires, the Varanes, you've got that quality, you've got that experience in there. You can mix and match now with that Manchester United defence and feel comfortable as well. Looks like changes for United are coming. I just said there that Solskjaer wasn't convinced about something. We're still not exactly sure what it is, but the change is going to be made very early in the second half.
Yeah, Jesse Lingard getting ready to come on. Camera now focusing on Anthony Martial, who of course got the goal in the first half. But there really is an abundance of wide attacking players for Solskjaer. Of course, with the arrival of Ronaldo, Lingard as well. Players like Van der Beek, who seems to be even further down the pecking order now. Of course, Dan James sold to Leeds United because they could just see there weren't going to be any options for him to get into the team at all. Throw on now to Everton down the left-hand side. It's with captain Lucas Digne. Just waiting to see where his teammates are. Gets a throw out towards Demarai Gray, being closed down here by Fred. Goes square to Ben Godfrey. Over on the right-hand side now for Andros Townsend, being marked by Luke Shaw. But Townsend keeps the ball alive and threads the ball through to Rondon, who expected too much from that pass. There may still be a chance here down the right-hand side as Godfrey gets beaten to the ball by Luke Shaw, who bore the brunt of that as well. Shaw is still down. And referee Michael Oliver thought about stop. I think he has stopped play now with Everton just going back towards their own goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think Shaw's taken a heavy knock here, hasn't he? It wasn't a foul. There was just two players sliding in for the ball. It was a lovely ball through what it appeared to be for Rondon. Superb covering, defending from Lindelof. And then as Shaw goes in for the challenge, yeah, he just takes a whack. I'm not exactly sure where, because we can't see from that angle as to where he actually got connected with. But he's got strappings all over the place, hasn't he, Luke Shaw? Every bit of him seems to be patched up at the moment. As there's a number 7 getting ready for United. Must be one of the younger players.
Yeah, one of the younger players that seems to have been away from. Just trying to think if they really variation on an iPad. Is he really listening to it? I'm sure
he clearly wasn't.
He clearly wasn't. He was more interested about putting that shin guard on, really, wasn't he? But here come Everton now down the left with Gordon fighting Digne. Digne lifts one into the 6-yard box, headed up in the air by Shaw, and then McTominay glances a header away towards the edge of the area. Ball still alive here for Everton as it drops to Gordon. Goes back now to Demarai Gray. Blocked at the edge of the area by McTominay. Gray then leaves it for Digne. Digne has space for the cross and does lift one into the box, but it's headed up in the air, looping over the bar in the end by Andros Townsend, out for a goal kick. But again, as we saw in the first half, United started brightly, Everton responding now, and here's that double change for the home side. It's going to be Anthony Martial. He is off to be replaced by Jesse Lingard. And so you can see he's not exactly thrilled to be going off here. Martial sort of thinking, what do I need to do here?
Yeah, he's sort of disappeared. You do wonder if there's a bit of an injury, though, in that sense. He doesn't look as mobile as he did in the first half, and certainly he's not really got into this second half at all. So you just wonder if there's a little bit of a knock there, something not quite right, and they were obviously keeping an eye on.
Yeah, so double change here for United. It's Jadon Sancho coming on here for Anthony Martial, and Cristiano Ronaldo coming on for Edinson Cavani. So Cavani had a couple of chances in the first half. I haven't really seen much of him in the second half. But so that's quite a luxury to be able to bring on one of the star players of Borussia Dortmund for the last couple of years, Jadon Sancho, and Cristiano Ronaldo, just as a little substitution early in the second half.
Yeah, and you look at the Everton bench in terms of attacking opportunities, and A lot of young players, isn't it, unfortunately, that the options are there. So you see the big difference between the two sides. We said it would probably come into play.
A lot of young players and two goalkeepers in their late 30s as well. Absolutely. On that Everton bench this afternoon, as United now playing out from the back with Shaw finding Bruno Fernandes, and Fernandes fires a ball. First chance here for Sancho to get on the end of it, but that's a great challenge there from Michael Keane. Always seemed as though Sancho might be favourite to get there, but Keane slides in, puts the ball out for a throw. Leaves it now for Luke Shaw.
Yeah, great covering challenge, wasn't it? We talked about Lindelof at the other end doing the same as the Everton attack came in. That looked like a perfect ball for Sancho to run onto until Keane came out of nowhere to make the challenge. Great covering, defending. We are seeing some high quality. We've seen a few errors and misjudgments defensively, but we are seeing some excellent defending as well from both sides at times.
We are, absolutely. Everton are doing what they can to, of course, restrict this United lead just to the one goal, as Ronaldo tries to play a quick 1-2 there with Mason Greenwood. Ducour steps in the way though. He finds Gordon, who then plays an early ball down the left hand side at Damari Gray, full of pace here, breaking into the United box. It's still Damari Gray. Oh, he just loses his footing there, and in the end it's neither a pass nor a shot. Probably just held on to that ball for a second too long there.
Yeah, he stepped inside beautifully, and Lindelof just did what he could, which was just to ease him off balance a little bit as he stepped inside. He got him there, just gets half a challenge in. No intention of getting the ball from Lindelof, not enough for a penalty either. Good defending, you would say, from the Manchester United man.
And here come United now with Sancho finding Greenwood. Greenwood then lays it off to Fernandes, who plays an optimistic ball down that right-hand side, but Digne... Well, I mean, I was all ready to say that's going to be a goal kick to Everton, but Digne perhaps just a little bit nervous seeing that United player right on his back, and he gets a touch. I think the way he was looking towards the linesman, he might have felt as though there wasn't a corner anyway.
Yeah, I think he thought it was already out, didn't he? But it was tight, and if it's tight, you've got to make sure that it bounces out carefully rather than playing the ball. So, bit of 6 of one, half dozen the other. It was very tight. Shouldn't have played it.
Yeah, 6th corner kick of the game. Every single one of them for Manchester United so far. The ball fired across the 6-yard box and away out on the left-hand side now, where Jadon Sancho inside towards Luke Shaw, and now Scott McTominay goes over towards Mason Greenwood on the right-hand side. Greenwood steps in. Oh, it's a lovely step. He gets past 2 players. He got past Rondon and Allan, but then he gets stopped at the edge of the box by Michael Keane. Then Bruno Fernandes wins the ball back with a challenge on Allan, but it's a foul, says referee Michael Oliver. Bruno Fernandes, the facial expression suggests that perhaps he's not entirely convinced by that decision, but we'll see from the replay here now, Steve.
Yeah, great little run through, wasn't it, in the first instance from Greenwood. Well dealt with, and yeah, Fernandes comes straight through the player looking for the ball. It's not malicious, he's going for the challenge, but he clearly gets player rather than ball. And as always with Bruno Fernandes, he never fouls anybody, does he, as we saw in the first half, but that again was pretty clean. Yeah,
it's a pretty easy decision there, I think, for referee Michael Oliver, and Jordan Pickford now waiting to take this free kick as the game ticks past the hour mark. Manchester United still leading against Everton by a goal to nil in this independent off-tube studio commentary, as Manchester United now win the ball back quickly. It's over to the left-hand side for Jadon Sancho. Sancho plays it inside to Ronaldo. Back to Sancho into the box. He plays it over towards Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes square to McTominay. He manages to nutmeg himself when he was 7 yards out. It just needed a strong right foot, and you think that United would be 2 up. But now Everton trying to respond themselves here with Abdoulaye Doucouré. Gets to the halfway line, plays it square to Anthony Gordon. But the Everton move just slows down a little bit. United are back in numbers now as well, as Allan brings the ball forward. He's got options in front. One of them is Damari Gray. Back to the Everton number 6. Just holds things up in midfield before going over towards the left-hand side now for Digne. And the move slows down, but Everton still in possession.
Yeah, and that last one was one of those attacks where nothing quite went right for United, did it, in that sense? Ronaldo's pass a little bit under hit, and just to get it into the path of Sancho. Then Sancho could never quite get space. His pass to Fernandes wasn't quite hard enough, so he had to kind of play it across too much pace. Here come Everton.
Yeah, lovely little 1-2 there with Gordon laying the ball off for Abdoulaye Doucouré. His cross is charged down by Lindelof, but he keeps the ball in play, finds Rondon, who has the ball picked off him there just at the edge of the 6-yard box. And it reaches Bruno Fernandes, who plays it square to Jadon Sancho. Sancho being well marked, though, by Godfrey. Puts the ball out for a throw to Manchester United down the left-hand side. Throw now to be taken by Luke Shaw. But immediately you can see the difference with Sancho and Ronaldo on the pitch.
Yeah, it is. It's that pace in terms of transition, isn't it, from midfield forward. They're going to use it now as much as they can, try and stretch this Everton defence, which will be getting tired as the game goes on. They have had to do a lot of defending, particularly in the early stages of this second half. Haven't had any breaks where Everton have had a spell of attacking pressure, have they, to try and get away from those opportunities and get away from that pressure that has been put on by United. So it's the perfect time to bring on those two, stretch them, use the pace, use the energy that they've got.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right that the idea is to try and kill the game off, not with 15 minutes to go, but with over half an hour to go, to make sure that there's no surprises late on. Everton have always got a goal in them with the players they've got on the field. But United now trying again here with Sancho down the left-hand side. Gets to the edge of the area, finds Bruno Fernandes. He then goes back to Luke Shaw, who's been closed down by Andros Townsend. Shaw just having to drop very deep, all the way back to the halfway line, where he goes to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof now steps forward. Ronaldo looked like he wanted to run into the box, just holds it though. Stays on side, and McTominay finds the United number 7 now. Over to Wan-Bissaka, back to Ronaldo. Wan-Bissaka tries to play a quick 1-2 with Ronaldo. Ronaldo claiming that he was being held there by Solomon Rondon, and that's a wry smile from Rondon suggests the free kick has gone against him.
Yeah, it certainly has. Not sure about it, but anyway, referee was in a good position. Great move by United here.
Yeah, it's played quickly then. McTominay gets all the way to the byline, puts a cross in, which is stopped by Allen, and it's out for a corner. I agree with you with that free kick. It's one of those where the referee almost took Ronaldo's word for it, because he stopped and said, I was being held back. The referee goes, okay, well, it's a free kick then, but I don't think either myself or Steve saw too much in terms of a foul there. But United took the free kick quickly. Such a lovely deft touch there from Bruno Fernandes to find McTominay. His cross is charged now. United have their 7th corner kick of the game. And it's with Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side. It's going to be an outswinger. Plenty of red shirts to aim for in the box. Low cross, though, from Fernandes. Easily dealt with by Allen at the near post. And it almost got through to Demarai Gray. But that's good work there from Fred. Oh, in fact, Fred bumps into Demarai Gray, but Gray still keeps the ball alive. Great work there from Gray. And he finds Ducour, who now feeds the ball into Townsend, who's one-on-one. Townsend into the back of the net. It's a fabulous counter-attacking goal from Everton, who equalised on 64 minutes.
Classic breakaway goal, wasn't it? Beautiful from Everton in terms of they've been under pressure. They've had the screw tightened around them, and then they suddenly find a little release there. Great run from Gray. We knew it would come from him in the first instance, because he's the one that's been turning the United defence around, trying to get them moving again. Beautiful play. Even better from Decore. I thought he'd gone the wrong way first time because he was turning into trouble, but he didn't. He extricated himself beautifully, and then the run from Townsend and the finish perfect. No chance for De Gea. You look at it again here, all the way from the back. There's a couple of challenges coming on Gray. He's just too strong. You know, you look at him, you think it's all pace, but there's power there as well. Decore, what a beautiful turn inside, and then Townsend. Again, you kind of think first touch, he's left it under his feet a little bit. Doesn't matter. It comes out enough for him to get the strike in. That is superb counter-attacking play.
It is excellent from Everton, and United had about 4 chances to stop that as well. With the initial clearance from Allen was actually picked up by Fred, but it still went into the path of Gray. Fred then bumps into Gray. Gray carried on his run, played it square to Ducour, who looked, as you said, to have turned into trouble, dropped his shoulder and got away from 2 players, then found Andros Townsend, who again on his weaker right foot with a lovely finish into the bottom corner, and there wasn't even a chance for De Gea to move towards that one. Ball's in the back of the net. It's 1-1, and the Everton travelling fans there, quite a few of them as you would expect. Not the longest journey, of course, from Merseyside to Old Trafford. Just a little while there on the M62, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that goal, as Shaw now gives it away. A chance there for Townsend, but Fred just about does enough to keep the ball in possession for Manchester United. It's now down the right-hand side here with Mason Greenwood. Gets to the edge of the area, lifts across in with Yerry Mina. Strong header out towards the halfway line. Lindelof with a strong header himself to get the ball back to Shaw for Manchester United. Shaw to Sancho, back to Shaw, edge of the area. His pass is picked off though by Allen, and his pass towards Rondon is picked off here by Mason Greenwood, who is fouled by Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's doing what he can just to take the ball away, delay this United free kick. But now this game is just going to step up a notch now. It should get a little bit more tasty, hopefully.
Yeah, it certainly should. United have got to start picking the pace up again, a little bit like they did in the early stages of the first half and towards the end of that first period. They haven't had that little bit of energy around. They brought on, as we said, Sancho and Ronaldo to try and provide it. Sancho is getting a lot of ball now, both sides of the goal in that sense.
Well, Everton want to throw one here at the edge of their own box. It's gone the other way, but certainly now, as this game has got 23 minutes to go, I'll hand over to Steve very shortly for the remainder. But United now trying to pile on the pressure here with Varane going over to Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. He has got Greenwood for support. Greenwood plays a quick run too with Wan-Bissaka, who runs straight into Anthony Gordon. And that is out for a Manchester United corner. Well, the last time United got a corner, Everton scored.
Exactly. They've got to be careful here. We talked about set pieces in the first half, didn't we? They've dominated the corner count so far, United. Nothing created from it, though, and it's created an Everton goal.
Outswinger now from Bruno Fernandes. He lifts that one too high this time, but then Andros Townsend with his head in his hands because he clears it unnecessarily out for a corner. He had so much space there. Probably couldn't even believe how much space he had, how much time he had to deal with that one, but it's out for a corner. Shaw now we're waiting to take it for United down the left-hand side. It was an outswinger from Fernandes from the right, now an outswinger from Shaw from the left. Oh, it's not far away from being headed in by Varane. It picked up here on the right now by Greenwood, who goes down at the edge of the area. Referee not interested in a free kick, though. Townsend goes down now, and that is given as a free kick to Everton, which will suit the visitors. It just allows them to slow things down and take this free kick. But we are at the three-quarter mark in this game. It is Manchester United 1, Everton 1, and it will be Steve to take us through to full-time.
Yeah, just seeing a replay again, first of all, of the challenge on Greenwood. It was just a slip by the United man. There was no complaint from him as well. We see a replay of the classic counter-attack goal from Everton. It's a great finish from Townsend. We saw the replay from behind the goal. Never took his eyes off the ball. Didn't look up at the goal. Didn't look up at De Gea. Knew he was on his weaker foot. Made sure that the strike was true, and it certainly was. Past the Manchester United keeper before he had a chance to even move a muscle. Here come Everton again down the left-hand side. Gordon tries to get it in. It gets across. Gray can't get there. Still not cleared properly by Manchester United. But then Sancho does get possession of it away from Digne, and he will race away down the right-hand side. But he's caught again by Gordon. Good tracking back by the young Everton midfielder. And Everton can reset and find Townsend out wide on the right-hand side. Godfrey will go on the overlap. Goes inside instead towards Rondon, edge of the box, laid off for Godfrey. Has a chance to get a cross in, but instead he waits a little longer than perhaps the players in the middle wanted. Townsend will get it, tries a shot, then puts his hands up, and an apology to other players around him. It was always going to be ambitious, turning away from goal. And here comes another little reinforcement for Manchester United as Paul Pogba ambles towards the sideline.
Paul Pogba will be the third and final change here for Solskjaer with 20 minutes still to play as Fred goes off. So this is a sort of a sharpening up of the attacking midfield now for United with Pogba coming on.
Yeah, Pogba, Ronaldo, Sancho, all off the bench. Not a bad FIFA pack, that one, is it? If you were picking those out with those three available to you.
Certainly is. That just shows you the wealth, but it also shows you the pressure that Solskjaer is under to deliver every time with a squad like that.
Absolutely. You bring in the shiny diamonds, people expect something in terms of silverware. As the ball chipped into the area by Sancho. It wasn't a bad ball. It was looking for the run of Greenwood, just a little bit far forward from him. 20 minutes left to go then. Manchester United 1, Everton 1. Ball back with the Manchester United defence for the moment. Your niche stat of the afternoon is it's 50 years since Manchester United last went 10 consecutive top-flight home games without a clean sheet. Now that Everton have scored in this second half, which is a rarity, they managed to turn most of those into positive results, of course, over recent weeks. Still sees them high up in the table. Expected victory, having led by a goal to nil with Martial's goal just before half-time. They have possession now as Everton inevitably will sit deep. Even Gray has come back in to help out his midfield as the ball's worked out onto the far right-hand side for Wan-Bissaka. Short sleeves, gloves on. They must be into October as Wan-Bissaka plays the ball out wide, right-hand side again. Plenty of players forward for United, but plenty of blue shirts back as well, which means space is at a premium, and then when they try and force the issue a little, the pass goes straight in between the two players down the left-hand side. Out of play for an Everton throw-in. Tom Davies to come on for Everton, it appears. No great surprise that they want some fresh legs in midfield.
They do, yeah. United have made all three of their changes. Everton haven't made any yet until this change now with central midfielder Tom Davies getting ready to come on. Just thinking who they might be taking off here. It's Anthony Gordon. And Davies seemed to be putting a three up. So is that going to be a central midfield three of Ducour, Allen and Davis with Gray, Rondon and Townsend as the attacking three now?
Yeah, it looks like that will be the case. I suspect Gray will probably go out wide now as well and try and block that those wide positions out even further to the sidelines for those three. So they're blocking things down now and trying to give away the space out wide a little more, but not give it away through the centre. Rondon, I suspect, might become more of a lone figure up front. Yeah, Gray's already pushed out onto the left-hand side. Davis has gone in with him in behind with Townsend. So actually that's the three that will sit in across midfield now, with Rondon more or less as a lone striker. The other two will try and get forward as much as they can. Mr. Corey is in there as well. Ball forward for Sancho though. Space for United on the edge of the box with Pogba. Tries to push it into the patch, which he does, and McTominay, but he can't get his shot away. And in the end, it's blocked out by a couple of Everton defenders just inside their own penalty area. Keane, I think, was the main one of those. The ball cleared away.
Yeah, asking a lot of McTominay there to sort of run into the box at pace, control the ball and get a shot away. Very nearly managed it, but Keane getting his body in the way.
And here's Shaw now. His best impression of the mummy, with strappings all over himself at the moment, but he still continues on somehow. At $6 million man, they find the technology to rebuild him every week and send him back out. The ball is worked out onto that right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka again into Pogba. A bit ambitious of a ball back, and it deflects off Davis and is cleared away. Ball lumped forward by United. An unusual ball over the top, easily dealt with by Mina. Picked up by Davis or Rondon battling for it in midfield. Davis does well, finds Gray. Here comes the pace again down the left-hand side. He's one-on-one with Lindelof, takes him on the outside this time, Damari Gray, but then he tries a little bit too much in the end. Should maybe have played it across. He's frustrated with himself as he ends up over the advertising hoardings, but nothing other than a goal kick.
Well, he's got such good pace here, Damari Gray, but he just needs to check his run a little bit quicker there. Once he breaks into the box, he feels like he has to get past Lindelof, but eventually just runs out of room on the field, and there is nowhere else to get past, and he's just out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good defending from Lindelof. He stopped him from coming inside, blocked that off, and then was able to get back quickly enough to force the mistake from Gray. It's a good ball from Sancho in towards Ronaldo, lashes a shot across the face of goal. I think it may even go out for a throw-in the end. It's curved so far away from goal, but a good opportunity. Sancho again, picked up deep by Ronaldo, lays the ball in, just onside Sancho, I think. And then as the run is continued into the penalty area, finds
never
the
tracked
space.
though. It has to be said that Ronaldo gets into the box. Nobody really tracks him. It should have been perhaps somebody a little bit closer to the United number 7. And this strike, as you said, just put a little bit of curl on it. It went along the line for eventually, I think he even hit the corner flag and rolled out for a goal kick in the end. But certainly Pickford will be very happy to see that. We've got 15 minutes to go, Steve, so I suppose every result is still possible. But you wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion that United are going to get this second goal here.
No, absolutely not. Everton still defending well, even with all the different options that United have coming forward. It's Everton in possession now inside the Manchester United half. Decore is facing away from goal though when he gets it. They'll play a long ball out wide onto that left-hand side. Digne might be able to keep it in. He does well to do so. And he wins the throw-in off Wan-Bissaka deep inside the Manchester United half, left-hand side. He'll take his time, not surprisingly. A draw for Everton after being a goal down will be a good result for them, as they look to solidify inside the top 6 or 7 positions in the Premier League. As Decoy battles past 1, tries to get away from 2, and he goes in on the back of Fernandes. It will be a yellow card. Referee thinks for a moment. Decoy is not complaining particularly about it. I think he knew he got on the wrong side. He was going for the ball, but he's lunged in, caught the back of Fernandes, and not surprisingly it's a yellow card.
Yeah, it had to be there really, didn't it? Fernandes turning away. He doesn't actually catch him with the foot he's putting out to make the challenge. It's almost like his body's just sort of taken out Fernandes there. But it's the wrong option. It's not the place to do a slide tackle there from Ducour, and I think he knew that yellow card was coming.
Yeah, just overrun it a little, as you say. No maliciousness in the challenge. He almost got the ball with the first foot, but then wiped him out with the second as he slid in. So United will come away with Varane. There's a little ball down the left-hand side for Sancho, who's come deep right in front of his England counterpart, Luke Shaw. Off to the Frenchman Pogba, tries a right-footed ball over the top, nice one to Ronaldo, headed back into the path of Sancho, back out wide for Ronaldo, tries to chip it into the area, blocked by Godfrey. Ronaldo wins the subsequent header as it spins up in the air, but Townsend will clear it long downfield. Rondon will race down for it and will battle with Varane and Lindelof. Fortunately for United, there was 2 of them, because one was certainly struggling with Rondon. Chipped ball over the top, lovely ball, lovely run as well from Greenwood. Oh, he tries to get it back across into the path of Ronaldo. In fact, there's an offside flag anyway on the, I think, on the first run rather than the second for Greenwood. But for a moment there, it looked like they found an unlocking key.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah, I think Greenwood has just edged out a little bit too far into an offside position when that move first started. Good work there as well from Keane to just get his body in the way when Greenwood was looking for Ronaldo.
Yeah, it certainly was, but there are signs for both sides at the moment. You still feel there might be a goal on the break from this Everton side. You certainly feel there might be something from Manchester United. Just finding half spaces at the moment, and Everton just shutting the door at the last second every time. Here goes Gray trying to battle his way into the penalty area off Lindelof. Two of them going for it. There's a half-hearted appeal for a penalty. Referee Michael Oliver immediately shakes his hand and says no.
I was going to say, yeah, he was wagging the finger in before Gray even had a chance to turn around and look up. But back at the referee, he was just getting his refusals in early there, Michael Oliver. Game United still very much in the ascendancy in terms of possession, but not too much work for Pickford.
No, he's had very little to do, just the one flashing shot across his bows from Ronaldo so far in the last few minutes. Ronaldo here has a throw in, which he wants to take quickly wide on the right hand side, and he does so. He's trying to keep the momentum up and try and keep this Everton side moving around. There are still a couple of substitutions in the pocket of Rafa Benitez, but with, as I said, a young bench, may not be the time to use them if he can avoid it. Challenge comes in from Townsend, ball is out of play again for another Manchester United throw in. 12 minutes to go. Manchester United 1, Everton 1. Martial in the first half, Townsend in the second. Here come United though with Bruno Fernandes. He lashes a ball across the penalty area, too much on it, finds its way all the way to Wan-Bissaka. He lofts it back in left-footed. Fernandes rises for it. I think it may have come off a defender. They've all clashed with each other here in the end. Both the defender and striker left in a crumpled heap on the floor. In the end, I think it might just be a goal kick.
It might just be, although I did see Godfrey just wink up at his teammate there, so it may well be that he's perhaps just saying that it's not too bad, but, you know, if we can get a second or two out of this, it won't be the worst thing ever. I think he just falls a bit awkwardly there, Godfrey, whereas it seems like Bruno Fernandes, I mean, I have to say, looking at that replay, I can't see where the contact with Bruno Fernandes' head is, although he certainly made it look as though there was a strong contact there with Godfrey.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact from Godfrey, but just put his arm up onto the side of the head of Fernandes to ease him away from it a little. Always a slightly dangerous thing to do, but nothing nasty in it. He was just trying to jostle for position, I think, there. And as you say, I think it was a diplomatic injury from Godfrey as he fell to the floor holding his ankle. Both players back on their feet, not surprisingly, on this occasion. Will be a goal kick after all that to Jordan Pickford, which he will take an absolute age over in front of the Stretford end. You see a dramatic picture from above the stands. Shows the whole of the field at Old Trafford, resplendent as ever, and the fans back in every corner virtually. The ball is up and over and up for Rondon to head it down to Townsend. He goes backwards though, has to, towards Godfrey. Chip ball over the top, headed away by Varane. Picked up by Shaw, rather loose pass inside, but he gets away with it as he only falls to Lindelof on the edge of his own penalty area. And Everton will not press too high. They'll come back now and allow Manchester United some possession around halfway. Again, a poor ball forward though by Wan-Bissaka, and it's picked up by Alan. Davies lifts the ball over the top into the space behind Wan-Bissaka, looking for Gray. Just too much on it this time though. The idea was right, execution a little off. And it gives Manchester United the chance to start off again from a defensive point of view with Lindelof into the path of Varane. He's closed down quickly, and so is Shaw by Townsend, who slides right across. It's a great challenge in, almost takes out Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well on the sideline. Smiles between the two of them as the United manager helps Townsend back to his feet. It's the home side who have possession just over the halfway line with Lindelof again. Everton have reset their lines now, just Rondon up towards the halfway line. Everybody else in a defensive midfield position in between ball and goal. Here's Varane. Wanders forward a few yards. He's looking at the different angles. There's not too much space though. This Everton defence doing a decent job. But here's Sancho, gets away from Godfrey down the left-hand side, faced up by Mina. Back inside for Pogba. Pogba with a curling strike. But in the end, it's a couple of yards away from Jordan Pickford's left-hand upright.
Yeah, the incentive was there to shoot, and Pogba from that sort of distance can be very deadly. But you can see Pickford never even moves with this one. He can tell that this ball's never curling enough, really, and it's wide of the top corner. But again, quick drop of the shoulder there from Sancho, and great work to get the ball to the edge of the area.
Yeah, we know what Sancho can do. We've seen it in Germany. Quite seen him fully for Manchester United just yet.
What was interesting there was we just saw a replay of the two managers as that shot from Pogba went wide, and you could see Rafa Benitez sort of waving his hands, sort of turning his hands, sort of like a way to say, "Come on, guys, let's keep up the pace." He wasn't saying slow down or take it easy. He wants Everton to just perhaps inject a little bit more life into the game in the last few minutes to perhaps even think about nicking all 3 points.
Yeah, no reason why they can't. We've seen a classic breakaway goal from them already in this game. So United have to keep the back door closed, even if they're heading out the front door, to try and find a way through this Everton side. Here comes Fernandes down the right-hand side this time. Tries to put a cross in. It's blocked out by Digne again. They're over there in numbers, Everton, very quickly. Closing down the space for the flair players in this United side, although there are many of them. Here's a more robust player, McTominay, out wide to Shaw. No pace on the attack, though, and Townsend can easily force him back inside towards Varane. He looks for Wan-Bissaka, who drifts forward with Fernandes, but the two of them end up a couple of yards away from each other. Therefore, there's no space to try and get the ball into the area until Fernandes can force it into Pogba. Tries to push it across. Orlando makes the challenge. Second challenge comes in. Ball is out of play for a Manchester United corner. And can we finally see a decent United corner?
Yeah, they've either been too short or too high and wide, but the worry for Rafa Benitez must be that his side really are struggling to get the ball away from the penalty area now. It's all United in possession. This corner kick now coming in from Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, that's a better one towards the head of Pogba, but he was always going backwards rather than attacking the ball. He had to just drop out of the 6-yard box to try and get his head to it. In the end, he just couldn't quite stretch high enough, but he found a gap.
He found a gap. He found a huge gap there, Pogba. I mean, there was nobody around him. He had time to as you say, take a step back. He didn't quite judge the pace of the cross, but that's a let-off for Everton because there was nobody marking him at all. As defensive midfielder Alan just hobbling a little bit there. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Everton still have 2 changes available should they need to take him off.
Yeah, it looks like he's saying there's a bit of tightness in the muscles, I think. Whether it's the hamstrings or the calves, I'm not quite sure, but he was certainly stretching out and then sort of pushed his fists together as somebody was asking him what the problem was. So just saying a little bit tight. He's only got another 7 minutes to try and hold out here if he can. Rafa Benitez will be keeping a close eye on it. Can't lose a key component of the defensive element of his midfield at this late stage of the game. Poor ball by Manchester United out of defence. Decor onto the edge of the box. Can he pull it across? He tries a couple of times and eventually his attempted cross is blocked out by Lindelof. But a good opportunity here from a set piece for Everton.
Yeah, but you can see Decor just a real frustrated look on his face there because this is all a gift after Wan-Bissaka's ball to Greenwood was given away. Davies was able to cut in and take it back for Everton, and then Decor just couldn't quite find the quick ball into the box. At least the consolation prize of the corner kick is there.
5 minutes plus change left of the 90. That's whatever the referee adds on at the end. Not necessarily a killer blow against United late on. But it would certainly give Everton a massive advantage as the ball comes in too high, though, headed away by Varane. Poor first touch by Godfrey, but he gets away with it. Chance here now. Davies is suddenly left in the penalty area. He pulls it back across. Is Mina offside? you said, is the make a mistake. For me, he's got to shoot there.
Should shoot there, I think. Tom Davies, that's a good opportunity, a great opportunity, not taken by Everton, and we've still got 3 minutes plus injury time to play.
Absolutely. We're into, not quite into Fergie Solskjaer time, but nevertheless drifting that way as United have possession again, but it's deep inside their own half, at least to begin with. Wan-Bissaka strides over halfway purposefully. Ball back with McTominay now. He will try and change the angle of attack with a long ball down the left-hand side, looking for Sancho, easily headed away by Godfrey. There's an urgency and a desperation about Manchester United now to get the ball back into play. They might feel they've had a bit of luck at one end. Might see that there might be something at the other now late on in the game, with the score locked at 1-1 then. Ball forward into the penalty area. Now everybody on a different page for Manchester United as the ball rolls through and just trickles to the feet of Jordan Pickford, who is told by everybody to take his time, and then flops on the floor as if he's making
made a good save there, Jordan Pickford, rolling on that ball, but
a stationary ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's always trying to eke those seconds out. On paper, goalkeepers have 6 seconds to get rid of the ball. In reality, it's more like 60 seconds really before the referee starts to get annoyed. But a long clearance there from Pickford, almost got through to Rondon, and United after that Everton winner disallowed for offside. That must have just woken them up a little bit as well.
Yeah, it certainly has. The impetus, crowd trying to get into it to urge them forward. A little bit of nervousness though as Everton get the ball, because they've shown already that they can score. One legitimate goal and one very close, ruled out for offside. Ball is out of play here as various players battle for it down the Manchester United right. A throw in. I'm not sure what Wan-Bissaka's doing, trying to take a free kick on that occasion. It's a throw in, Wan-Bissaka. Aaron, come on, switch on. It's a throw in.
It's your own time you're wasting.
Exactly.
Of course. It's as I say, if Everton were doing this, there'd probably be a yellow card coming out for pretending to be playing dumb. But obviously in United's case, they want every minute that they can here. So Wan-Bissaka just not realising as United now push forward with a ball from Pogba that could still get through to Sancho.
Yeah, Sancho does well. Takes it before it runs out of play. Finds Luke Shaw. Into the feet of Pogba again, out wide on the left-hand side for Sancho. Tries to step away from a sliding challenge of Townsend. The Everton man gets half a touch on it though and stops Sancho from getting forward. But Jadon Sancho still in possession, finds Pogba. Left-hand side, midway inside the Everton half. Ronaldo drops in deep now to take the ball off McTominay. Finds it out wide for Wan-Bissaka. Back to McTominay again. Pogba's got space around the edge of the penalty area, but his attempted pass is again blocked out. Fernandes takes possession, corner of the box to Wan-Bissaka. Lovely chipped ball in. He was looking for Ronaldo, headed away only as far as Pogba. He takes it down, finds Ronaldo. Little flick for Sancho, but no pace on the cross or the shot.
Wow.
In that sense, and a poor choice.
Such a tame effort that from Sancho. All he's got to do is put a bit of curl, a bit of height on this from his position over on the left-hand side of the penalty area. That's just inviting to be driven towards that top corner at the far post, rather than just, it's almost like a back pass back in the day when you were allowed to pass it back to your keeper and he could pick it up. It was a very, very tame ball there. 4 minutes of injury time.
Seems a long time again, but 4 minutes, here we go. Well, I suppose we had Luke Shaw down, didn't we?
Luke Shaw down, a double substitution in a VAR decision. It probably is still a minute longer than I would have expected anyway, but you always get a little bit longer at the end of the game. And as we said, I mean, the amount of time that the ball actually spends out of play is closer to 15 minutes in every half anyway, so you never really get that time back. But still plenty of time in for United to try and get a winner.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'd forgotten about Shaw. I'll give that one back to the referee. My apologies. I withdraw the allegation against Michael Oliver as the ball is played to Luke Shaw. Out wide on the left-hand side for Sancho. Again, he's incredibly quickly closed down by Godfrey, who's doing a decent job of keeping the England man quiet. Ball breaks for Ronaldo on the edge of the box. He gets tackled, inevitably looks up at the referee for a free kick, which is not forthcoming. Michael Oliver not in the slightest bit interested, but United still have possession. Well, they did with Wan-Bissaka until he tries to force it down the line. Terrible ball forward, runs straight out of play for a goal kick. Everton will waste a bit of time with the substitution. Jordan Pickford will waste a bit of time as well with the ball out of play, and he goes out and remonstrates with his defenders outside the penalty area, not surprisingly, and it will be a swap. It looks like Damari Gray will be the man who's sacrificed. He's got the Man of the Match award from the TV company. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that.
No, he's certainly Everton's best player, and considering that it's 1-1, you can argue that he's been the best player on the field. The move he put together for the goal was absolutely superb. So he is off for these final few minutes, and it's Lewis Dobbin with the number 61 on his shirt to replace him.
Here comes comes onto the field, the youngster, more defensive sort of player in that sense. Give Everton just the fresh legs for the last couple of minutes. Demarai Gray, job done as far as he's concerned. Excellent performance.
He's been a promising player for a while, hasn't he? I mean, even at Birmingham City, people thought that he had something about him. Joined Leicester, could never really get into that Leicester team full time. But now it looks like a great signing here. Him and Townsend have really sharpened up that Everton attack this season.
Yeah, very good signings and fitting well into the way that Benitez wants his side to play as well, giving them that quick outlet. Experience on one side, youth on the other. The ball picked up by Manchester United. 2 minutes of stoppage time played. 1-1 the score. Pogba tries to flick it on into the path of Sancho. Again headed away by Godfrey. Flicked on as well by Mina, so the ball is well away from the Everton penalty area as Townsend picks it up. Could be an opportunity here. There's no real outlet though now because Gray obviously has gone off. So that was the option that Townsend looked up for and then realised he wasn't there. So just had to check back, and that's given the ball back to Manchester United now as Sancho is brought down. Referee plays an advantage. He will now bring it back though as Ronaldo can't take possession of the ball as he miscontrols it. Good refereeing, just to see if there was an advantage there. There wasn't, so bring it back for the clear foul. It will be a free kick for Manchester United. Very central position, taken early on this occasion by Fernandes, looking for Ronaldo, beaten to it by Keane, offside anyway, says the assistant on that far side.
Yeah, and now there's an Everton player down as well with a bit of an injury, and by the time this free kick is taken for the offside, I'll tell you what, Ronaldo's not offside there. Pogba might be, but I don't think Ronaldo's offside in the slightest. It's a very quick, almost a little bit too quick decision there, I think.
Yeah, it was a little bit, although the ball had gone away from goal, so there was no danger of a strike on goal straight away out of that. Linesman gives it in terms of being in line. But as you say, from the camera angle, which wasn't far away, it didn't look particularly tight. Obviously, we may be slightly out of sync with what the assistant is looking at, of course, as the ball is played forward then by Pickford from the resulting free kick. Rondon battles for it, but Varane has too much for him. Although his clearance just goes high up into the Manchester sky and drops straight out of play for a throw-in. Benitez just making a few points to his side, just making sure they stay sharp. We're into the final few seconds of the game though now. Looks like it will be an excellent point for Everton. Another frustrating home day for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lost out to Villa, sneaked past Villarreal, you would say. He's now not been able to hold on to the lead against Everton as well. Still keeps them in with a shout around the higher positions in the table. These are the kind of games you've got to grind out a win if you're going to be realistic title contenders, you would say. Here come United then. One last chance perhaps for them to come forward. Lindelof onto that right-hand side. Ball is played long right to left, looking for Pogba. Just about gets his head to it. Godfrey's there as well. They're all screaming handball. Doesn't matter. The referee has brought the game to an end, and it will be honours even then at Old Trafford. It finishes Manchester United